All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Clouser, episode 159 of this beautiful podcast. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're doing better than myself. If you can't tell, you might think, John, are you sick? Are you sick? You might have some sort of sickness going on. No, I don't know. I've just overused my voice. This usually happens, roughly around this time. What do? We just sprung forward, right? Because spring's coming. And this is usually just a thing. Allergies, was it 2 weeks ago? I had a runny nose out of one nostril. That's allergies. It's just amore, guys. It's just, when the moon hits your eye, sometimes you just lose your goddamn voice, and, you kind of need it with the things that I do. So, I sound like I just been smoking a lot of cigs lately. Like, come here, toots. Come here. Let me give you the time of your life. What kind of cigs what kind of cigs do you have? It's like, yeah. Oh, you smoke those spirits? Yeah. What are you, some kind of Mary? It's like, that's kind of what I sound like. So, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Again, like I said, better than myself. Besides the voice, God, I woke up this morning, spring forward, lost an hour. Yeah, that was fine, because like I realized it. I was chilling. I'm like, okay, dude. It's like I woke up at, I think it was like 8:38, and I'm like, oh, it's a little late. I'm like, whatever. It's a little later than I normally wake up, but I'm like, okay, whatever. And I let the dog out. Who let the dog out, right? Who lets the dog out? And I do. I'm the one. And so when I did that, I was chilling. I did a little bit of computer work to get stuff ready for the podcast. And then I realized, dude, it really does sound like I just have smoked a shit ton of cigarettes. And yeah, I just, where's the Marlboro Rye? Oh, God, we don't have any Marlboro Rye. My voice, I'm losing my voice. What's it, Helen Hunt or something like that just said that it's okay to murder if you're going to do it for, if you have to get an abortion. It's something like, it wasn't Helen Hunt. It was some fucking old lady. The lady from 80 and Brady, or 80 yards and Brady, 80 and Brady. I think that's what it is. I don't know. These four old ladies. Tom Brady, it's a movie. Who knows? It's great. Yesterday in the morning, lost my voice. My voice sounded awful. And then I had it all day yesterday. And then, of course, I didn't speak all morning just for this podcast. And then I said a couple words. I'm like, oh, no. Shit. It's awful. It's just, it is what it is. It just, the virus came from a bat, not from a lab. It's just Fauci. Have you ever listened to Fauci talk? He just sounds like such a, like the man sounds corrupt in every sense of the word. Like, it's just, you can't listen to that little fucking, you can't. It's impossible to listen to that fucking that garlic knot and not you can't believe anything. There's not a word that comes out of his mouth that you believe. Man, I'm so upset by it. Hold on. There's an aura light that goes on above the place that guys really don't see, but I feel it. I feel it in my heart. It's just, can you believe that Hitler believed in fucking astronomy and all that shit? It really blows your mind. But also blows my mind. Do you guys see that fucking video of that mothership or something? Like, there's a video of the sun. If you don't know about this, I talked about, FYI, Aaron and I did a podcast this week. It's going to be coming out probably sometime later on. I don't know. It might come out Monday. This comes out on Tuesday. And then it's going to come out maybe most likely Thursday. That's usually the day that I like to release the podcast with myself and Aaron. This is usually the day that we do that. It's kind of cool because it's like out of nowhere. Just drop it. The only way you'll know about it, this, and then You're the podcast. I mean, when I drop it, this is crazy. This reminds me back in the days of when I was in college and poor. Man, oh man, how's his voice sound? But yeah, that mothership. Yeah, fucking crazy. How? So there was the sun, right? And then there's this ball. Apparently, they say it's the size of Jupiter, and it like sucked plasma, which I don't understand how they know it was plasma. But I don't know. Maybe that's the stuff that comes off the sun. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. There's people who are way smarter than me. I love how then you see these videos on TikTok, because this is where you see it. You see it on TikTok, and once you see it on TikTok, it's just a bunch of videos of other stuff. It's a bunch of like very similar things of the same thing over and over again. Then it all goes back to like Joe Rogan. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's it's an interesting thing that's going on. I love how I drank that water and I lost all my momentum. It's like, oh, that actually kind of helped my voice a little bit for a while. We'll see. It's almost better. There it is. There it goes back. All right, I can go back to my character, which is an awful accent. It's an accent of nothing, It's like trying to be like all these like older like Jewish ladies with those Lisa Loeb glasses that I grew up around when I was younger. But it's like and then like that plus like a jersey, like a little bit of a jersey, like those Eastern. It's like I'm like why you do this, John? Like because it's like you only spent like 6 months in the East Coast when you lived there. You didn't live like there for a long significant time, so it's not really like you know much about it. You're more of that West Coast kind of feel, and it's like, but it really does like sorry, I go back. So I chain smoke. So, but I took a break, and when I take my break, my voice goes back to normal. But I prefer when it sounds like this. Oh God, I really do sound like my voice has just like been rubbing against gravel. That's what it feels like. If I had like a ball of gravel in my throat. But yeah, that fucking the thing, the mothership thing. Apparently, then they said that it might be visiting us, which is. What's so crazy about it is that it defies my whole theory, because, to be honest, I really believed my theory was the best theory out there, and that no one's theory about the aliens were as good as mine. That, like, they've probably already been here. If aliens exist, they've already been here. They've come here and they left. Like, why would you? They're like, yeah, we're good, dude. There's really nothing, like, they're fucking insane down there. They beat the shit out of each other, and they build big buildings, and they blow each other up. And after the big, like, it's like a lot of time and effort to build those buildings, and then they just they say fuck it, and they just blow it up like nothing, like nobody cares. But it's just so the fact that, like, it's like, all right, well. Another thing too is like I also think too, like, sometimes I'm like, I should have been a doctor. I should have just went ahead and just been like gone to the medical field, like my parents really wanted me to. And then if those aliens come, then who cares? Then if they just kill us, then who gives a shit? I look at it like that too. It's like, well, could be worse, because dead or dead. Probably what's making my voice hurt, it's probably the creamer. It's probably coating my throat. Oh, do you like that little burp there? It's probably making it worse. I'm just like, oh man, my throat is on fire though. It is. It is. Just. I feel like my throat feels like a taxi driver. Yeah, those old school taxi drivers. Again, more East Coast shit. That's a cigar. Did anyone else have an uncle? I had an uncle who always chewed a cigar, which I think was the gross. I think chewing a cigar is worse than smoking a cigar, just because the pure grossness that you're always they always have a sloppy mouth. Like their mouth is always like a sloppy mess because they're just always trying to suck on it, and they're sucking, and like they have something in their mouth, so you can't understand what they're saying. And then when they take that thing out of their mouth is just full of like, it's just like a flood. It's like a lake inside their mouth. So like, so it's how they always talk. It's probably why like their jowls, like the jowl underneath their neck, that meat starts flapping when they get older. It's probably just from all that, just trying to hold all that shit in. Oh, like I had friends who would chew, and I was older than, like I was like a couple months older than them, so I turned 18 before they did, so I bought them chew a good amount of time, and I'm like, dude, because I hate fucking doing this, because this shit's gross. Why do you do this? And they would chew it, and they would like spit in a cup, and they would just swallow that, and they would swallow the saliva. They're like, it's my saliva, it doesn't bother me any. I'm like, you're a fucking gross person. You and the people who just like shove papers into the backpack when they were a kid, you two are like, well, they're probably, not gonna lie, they're equally the same person. They're the same person. Let's both be real. It was the same person. It's just like, whoa, wow, what a wild existence to choose to do that. But it was so funny. Like I was gonna tell you, I woke up this morning, and the first thing I woke up to, other than the fact that like I'm like, okay, John, don't talk that much until you have to do the podcast, and probably most likely all the talking you're gonna do today will be the podcast. I woke up to a text message from my boss, one of my bosses, and I'm like, God damn it, like what the fuck? How the hell did you guys get my real number? One, and then two, I was like, instantly, I just like, it said, you know, hey, can you please do this or this? And I'm like, not on my days off. And I just instantly went and I blocked. And then I went to and I blocked all my boss's numbers. And I'm like, all right, well, that's it. Like, you guys literally just had 40 hours of my time. This is Saturday for me. You just had 40 hours of my life, and you didn't address this at all. And I had just now entered into hour 6 of like my own time of my 48 hours of my own life. And I'm like, no, all right, well, that's it. You somehow got my real number. It is an instant block for you now. So they're gonna come up to me on Monday and be like, hey, John, did you do this or this? I'm like, nope. They're like, well, we texted you. I'm like, that's not my number. So sorry. I'm like, not my fault. It's like, well, that's what we had a number. I'm like, well, actually, technically on file, you guys have like 4 numbers. So did you try all 4 or do you only try 1? So that's on you, not my fault. Like you had 40 hours of my life. And then you choose to come at me during my fucking 48 alone. Not going to do it. Nope. You can go fuck yourself. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is called having boundaries with your fucking company. This company doesn't give a shit. And it's another thing too, like the 2-week rule. Like they don't give you a 2-week rule. Like, hey, just let you know, we're going to fire you in 2 weeks. They just will fucking fire you and be done. So it's like, I really understand that, like, apparently this generation, the newest generation or the youngest generation, doesn't follow the 2-week rule because they're like, fuck you. You don't help us. We're not going to help you, you dickhead. So I get it. I mean, I also too get like not wanting to burn that bridge, but it is what it is. Where are we at? We're like 15. We're 14 minutes. All right, I'll talk a little. I'll get to 15, and then we'll do the I guess what would be called the video of the week. But yeah, it irritates the living shit out of me when people do it. It's like it's so intrusive. It's so incredibly intrusive because I don't do that to my bosses. I don't want their fucking number. That's the biggest thing. I don't want their number. So and so because not having their number, not wanting their number, that means I don't bother them. So don't bother me during my time. Because they were on a fucking cruise. They just came back from a fucking cruise, my bosses. I didn't text them one time on their cruise. Once at all. You know why? Because I knew they were on a cruise, and so you know what I did? I fucked off. I pissed the fuck off. Because that's the the isn't way of saying things. All right, well, guys, you want to watch this video? All right, this video. This is more visual video this week than audio, but the visual of this is, the audio of it is kind of crazy.
Welcome to the John Show with your hosts, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. Okay. So the weird thing about this video is crazy. Is like, I just think it's hilarious because it's like, why can't people just do things like what I do? I sit down, I put up lights, I get a microphone, I get audio equipment, I get a camera, and I talk in a voice in which sounds like I am dying. I am Alec Baldwin, and I'm going to be charged with killing that person. Because it's so fucking weird. It's so incredibly weird that, like, what the fuck happened? Why? There's something they're not telling us that happened on that set. There has to be. And what sucks too is, like, I'd be so upset. I'm like, I got my big break. As either like a camera guy or a lighting guy, and I'm like, oh, this is my first big movie. This is the movie I lit, and then some jerk off had to shoot someone else in the fucking head. It's like, God damn it, dude, and kill them. Like, you had one job. I'm doing my job. I'm doing it. I'm doing my job. Uh-oh, breaking news. Oh. Wow. Dolphins acquire. It's so hard for me to even say it because, okay, so I'm a Rams fan, so this is why. Dolphins acquire. This just happened. I knew this was going to happen, but it makes me sad because I have his fucking jersey. Oh, man. Okay, so Dolphins acquire cornerback Jalen Ramsey from the Rams for tight end Hunter Long and a 2023 third-round draft pick. Interesting. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but that's the thing. Like, I know one day what's going to happen is, like, Patrick's going to get. He's going to get a. I almost said acquitted. No, I know one day he's going to get released from the Chiefs. I know one day that, Kelsey's going to leave. Orlando Brown, the left tackle, he's probably going to be gone in free agency after free agency starts Monday. So that's the thing. Like, but at least I know, like, at least he's going to a decent team. I mean, he won a Super Bowl for us. Like, I can't, the thing is, like, I can't be mad at things like that. I can't be mad at a player then moving on. It's just like what we're doing is like we don't call it in Los Angeles. We don't call it a rebuild. We call it a remodel. That's what we call it. It's fucking insane what LA, the terminologies for shit, the linguistical terms. It is insane. No, it's a fucking rebuild. We're doing a rebuild because we can't. We put all of our money in on just getting all these older things and giving up all of our draft picks for all these players like Ramsey. We have a bunch of shit for him in the hopes of going to a Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl, and we went to an NFC, NFC. Was it NFC Championship game? Oh, I guess you could say that we went to. In this little span in the 4 years, we went to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. So you can't really be that mad about it. We went with golf, and golf's not even that bad of a quarterback. It's just that he's just very limited in his abilities. But yeah, Jalen was a good. I remember we got him. I remember where I was when we got him too. I was in a cooler, and I got the alert on my phone. I'm like, holy shit, we got fucking Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey's coming to a fucking, and I'm like, we're gonna win a Super Bowl, and guess what we did? We won one, and now he's gone. Got his jersey, and then he sucked dick. Oh, he didn't even suck dick. He was an All-Pro the whole time he was in L.A. It just sucks that I was really hoping, and I knew that we weren't gonna. I knew the Chiefs weren't gonna be able to get him because it's a lot. He was gonna ask for a lot of money because he's an All-Pro. He deserves the money. Even like, but the Chiefs are not gonna pay. We're not gonna pay a corner $21 million. We're just not gonna. The Chiefs are just not gonna do it. They're just not. But yeah, well, Jalen, thank you for the Super Bowl. And best of luck. I'll still root for you. Sauce Gardner's starting to pull ahead though. Now I'm rooting for him to win a Super Bowl though. So that's kind of how it goes. You know, I've followed Ramsey since he was a corner at Florida State. He was originally from Florida. Good times though. Good for him. Probably going back to Florida makes sense why he wants to go there. Probably back home, closer to home. As I believe, I don't know what part of Florida. Let's see. Jalen Ramsey from where? Oh, he's from Tennessee. I'm a fucking dipshit. Well, I was wrong, and I can admit that. See, that is part of the game. That's part of the thing. Talking about like Miami players. Do you see the Tyreek Hill video of him doing the 60 meter dash? Oh, the 60 meter. I guess you'd call it a dash because 100 meter dash, 200 meter dash. I think they call them dashes, right? Because it's a short. It's a sprint, 200 meter sprint, 100 meters, the 60 meter sprint. Either way. Yeah, he did it like in 6.2 or something like that, 6.2 seconds. But like, he blew everyone else away. It was insane. You're like, what the fuck? And he hadn't raced for I think 7 or 8 years or something like that. It was insane. God, he's an incredible athlete. Just purebred athlete. But still has the speed. It sucks that the thing is the Chiefs offered him a contract. We offered him money, but we're like, we can't give you all that money, dude, because we have to have other players. We have to try to build. But the thing is, with all the quarterbacks, all the wide receivers that we had, was the same price as what it would cost just to have Tyreek Hill, and we had a quarter. We had Juju was over 1,000 yards. Tony was at I think 700. We had a couple other ones Let's see here. Let me, instead of just saying, I know Juju had over 1,000. I believe he was a leading receiver. Stats for Chiefs receivers this year. Let's look at receiving. Yeah. Oh, Kelsey. Yeah, Kelsey was the other one. Kelsey had over 1,000 yards. Kelsey had 1,300. Juju was the next one. Juju had 933. So basically 1,000 yards. Yeah. MVS, he had 680. He had 687. McKinnon had 520 or 512. That's pretty good. And then Patrick had 6 yards receiving. I don't remember when he got thrown to. So when you have 4 guys who get over 500 yards, Yeah, it's a pretty good solid season, and Patrick rushed for 358 yards this year. He was the second leading rusher. Patrick threw for 12. No, 12. He threw for 5,250 yards this year, which is incredibly crazy. But granted, they are playing with an extra game, so like the stats are going to be even more than the past couple years, just based because the fact that you're playing an extra game. You're going to be able to get another 200, like 150 yards, 200 yards, maybe like on, at the end. I don't know. You could probably like stack on like another, like 50, yeah, probably like 300. Maybe if you're lucky, maybe an extra 300 yards to your stat line by the end of the season. I would think so. Like if you because you could probably gonna add like 50 yards each game at most, maybe. I'm just doing a rough number. I'm probably way off because I'm a fucking moron and I'm not that good with numbers. But yeah, like so, like she still did good. Like so, we had damn near two guys over 1,000 yards receiving. But Kelsey's, yeah, I don't care what anyone's like. Kelsey is a tight end, but he's a wide receiver. He put himself. It's probably because like he's a white guy, and so he was like, "Well, I'm big. I'll just say I'm a tight end," because he's like 6'6", isn't he? I think Kelsey's like 6'6". Let me see here. Let's see Travis Kelsey. He's 6'5". Yeah, 6'5", 250. It's a solid fucking man. It's a huge human. It's a giant human. Huge. So it is what it is. Good times, right? Yeah. Do you know they hung an elephant in like 1916 or something like that? It was something insane. Let me see here. Where is it? The hanging of the elephant. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, 1916. They hung an elephant in 1916 because it killed its trainer. Yeah. So think about how hard that was to, marry the elephant the day that they hung an elephant. It's fucking insane. It really is crazy that humans do things like that. Well, they electrocuted an elephant too. Remember the person, like, guy who's like made like electricity, or who discovered electricity, or no, AC/DC currents, I believe, something like that. He fucking they electrocuted an elephant. So damn, elephants have been and then there's a thing that says that elephants look at us like how we look at dogs. Wrong. It's a fucking elephant. They're like, get the fuck away from me. We don't want to be around you. So yeah. Anyway, I have like less than a minute. I have like 45 seconds left. So I gotta, after this, I gotta export everything. Then I gotta start editing. And I still have to write today. But anyway, yeah. All right. Well, have fun. Be safe. Wash your hands. And I will talk to you guys on the next episode. All right. Bye. My voice is gone.